Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode here on the Go English channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm David. We are absolutely thrilled to be hanging out with you guys again today. We love sharing these little tricks to help you on your journey.
We really do, David. But hey, before we dive into our chat, just a quick reminder for our amazing viewers, please hit that like button, share this with your study buddies, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. It honestly helps us keep this going.
It really does. We appreciate every single one of you. Thanks, guys.
So, David, we have a really cool topic today. It's actually something a bit different. It's about training your physical mouth and your mindset for English. What's your take on that?
Emma, this is huge. It's probably the number one thing students complain about. You know the drill. They say, David, I understand everything you say. I can read perfectly. But the moment I open my mouth, nothing comes out.
Right. It's the classic passive versus active struggle. It's so common. You have all this vocabulary stored in your head, you understand movies, but speaking feels heavy. Why do you think that disconnect happens?
That is the million-dollar question. Honestly, I think it's because people treat English like a history book instead of a sport. They don't train the muscles. It's like reading a manual on how to play tennis, but never actually stepping onto the court to swing the racket. Your brain knows the theory, but your muscles have zero memory of the movement.
That is such a good comparison. It's like your brain has the data, but your mouth refuses to process the file. It just feels clumsy, or maybe stuck is the right word.
Stuck is perfect, or just slow. We have to remember that our mouths are conditioned to speak our native language. English requires different tongue positions, different rhythms. So if you don't physically practice those movements, you're going to trip over your words.
Exactly. We forget that the tongue and jaw are controlled by muscles. You wouldn't expect to run a marathon without training your legs, so why expect to speak fluent English without training your tongue?
Spot on. It's gym time for your face. If you want strong biceps, you lift weights. You don't just sit on the couch thinking about lifting weights. You have to do the reps.
I love that image. And you can't just go to the gym once a year and expect to look like a bodybuilder. It takes consistency.
Precisely. It's the same for pronunciation and fluency. You need to train those micro movements so the sounds flow into each other. At first it feels mechanical, maybe even a bit forced, but eventually muscle memory takes over.
So, if a student feels stuck, it's not because they aren't smart. It's literally just a lack of physical repetition.
100%. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It's biology, it's muscle memory. Your mouth just needs to learn the choreography of English.
That makes a lot of sense. So, let's get practical, David. How do we start this mouth workout? Do you have a favorite technique?
I definitely do. There is one technique that is practically magic. It's called shadowing. Have you ever tried it, Emma?
Shadowing. Yes, that's where you copy the speaker, right? Like you're their shadow.
Exactly. You become a verbal shadow. Here's the deal. You put on a podcast or YouTube video with a native speaker, and as they speak, you repeat exactly what they say, almost at the same time. You don't wait for the sentence to finish, you trail right behind them.
Okay, so it's active listening. You're basically mimicking them like an echo.
Yes, and the goal isn't just the words. You want to copy the emotion, the speed, the melody, the pauses. You're acting, you're pretending to be that person.
That actually sounds really fun. So if I'm watching a video and the person says, "Hey, what's up?" really quickly, I should say, "Hey, what's up?" with the exact same speed.
You got it. And here's the trick. Don't stop. Even if you miss a word or if you don't understand a specific term, keep the rhythm going. The point is to force your mouth to move at the speed of a native speaker.
That is brilliant. It hits listening and speaking skills simultaneously.
It does. And you don't need to start with Shakespeare. Start with super simple stuff. Find a beginner conversation. The key is imitation, not analysis.
I love that. Moving on from shadowing, what's another layer we can add? I find that just repeating daily phrases helps unlock the jaw.
Oh, for sure. Think of simple phrases as your daily warm-up stretches. When you wake up or while you're making coffee, just say the basics out loud.
Yes, I think learners often feel pressure to say profound, complicated sentences, but saying, I'm tired or where is my phone fluently is actually a huge step.
It really is. It builds momentum. Phrases like, I can do this, let's go, or have a nice day.
And you can add acting to it. If you're excited, say, I'm ready, with a big grin. If you're exhausted, say, I'm ready, with a sigh. It connects the feeling to the vocabulary.
That is such a pro tip. Connecting emotion to language makes it stick in the brain. And the more you do these simple reps, the less your mouth has to think about how to form the words. It becomes automatic.
Like singing along to the radio. Eventually, you don't need the lyric sheet anymore.
Exactly. It becomes a habit. And once the easy stuff is automatic, the hard stuff becomes easier.
Now, I have a tip that might make people feel a little crazy, but I swear by it. Talk to yourself, out loud, when you are alone.
Yes, the narrator technique. People might look at you funny if you do this on the bus, but in your living room, it's the best practice ground.
Totally. Your home is your safe zone. There is no judgment. Just narrate your life.
It might feel weird initially, but it's powerful. Just describe what you're doing. Okay, I'm opening the fridge. I'm looking for milk. Ah, we're out of milk.
I need to go to the supermarket. Or just pointing at things. That is a lamp. That is a blue pillow.
It sounds so basic, but think about it. You are your own best practice partner. You're always available. And since no one is there to correct you, you lose the fear of making mistakes. You just flow.
Right. The goal is just to make noise in English. Get comfortable hearing your own voice in this new language. Mistakes don't matter in the safe zone.
Exactly. It bridges the gap between your brain and your mouth. Speaking of the brain, let's pivot to the mind. We've trained the mouth, but how do we train the mind? How do we stop translating and start thinking in English?
That's the hardest part for many people. Translating in your head is exhausting. It's like a traffic jam in your brain.
It's a huge barrier, but you overcome it by simplifying. You don't start by thinking about philosophy. You start with objects.
So when I see a table, I shouldn't think the word in my native language and then swap it. I should look at the object and immediately think, table.
Exactly. Cut out the middleman. When you feel a sensation, label it directly in English. Cold, hot, hungry, tired.
I see. So it's about direct association.
Yes, and don't stress about what you don't know. Work with what you have. If you need to leave, just think, I need to go. Don't try to construct a complex grammatical masterpiece in your head.
That relieves a lot of pressure, because when we translate, we're always a few seconds behind the conversation.
Exactly. Thinking in English is the fast lane. It removes that lag time. And honestly, the best way to do this is to surround yourself with the language.
Immersion. But David, not everyone lives in the US or the UK. How do they do that?
You create a bubble. You hack your environment. Change your phone settings to English. That's an easy one.
Yes, and content. Watch TikToks in English, listen to music, read memes.
Memes are great because they're cultural and short. And podcasts, of course, like the Go English channel.
Subtle plug. I like it. But seriously, turn your downtime into English time. Washing dishes, podcast on. Commuting, English music.
It creates a background radiation of English. Your brain stops treating it as a foreign invader and starts accepting it as part of daily life.
And this leads to my favorite point about learning: consistency.
Consistency is king. Students often think, I need to study for 3 hours on Sunday, but then they do nothing Monday through Saturday. That doesn't work.
It's better to do 5 or 10 minutes every single day than a marathon session once a week.
Absolutely. 5 minutes is manageable. Everyone has 5 minutes. It keeps the engine warm. If you stop for a week, the engine gets cold.
And it's psychologically easier. Telling yourself, I'll just do 5 minutes is easy. But often, once you start, you end up doing 20 minutes because it's fun.
Exactly. Don't break the chain. Build the habit. Habits build skills.
I want to touch on one last thing, David, which I think is vital for confidence. It's about accepting your own voice.
Ah, this is profound.
A lot of learners stay silent because they hate their accent or they feel they aren't perfect yet.
Which is a tragedy. You cannot wait for perfection to start speaking. You have to speak to get to perfection, or rather, to get to fluency.
Yes, your voice, your accent, that's you. That's your identity. You shouldn't try to sound like a robot.
Embrace it. When you speak English, you are connecting with another human being. That is the goal. Connection, not passing a grammar test. As long as you are understood, you are winning.
And realizing that gives you so much freedom. When you stop judging yourself, you actually speak better because you're relaxed.
It's a positive loop. You speak, you survive, you feel good, so you speak more.
And really, David, it all comes back to that main idea. Your brain follows your mouth.
That's the takeaway. Don't wait to know it all before you say it. Say it, and your brain will realize, oh, we're doing this, and it will catch up.
It triggers the learning process. It's active, not passive.
Exactly. The fluency is found in the struggle of speaking, not in the comfort of reading.
I love that. Well, David, this has been such an inspiring chat. I really hope our listeners feel motivated to start training their mouths and minds today.
Me too, Emma. Just remember, guys, practice and consistency. You've got this.
You absolutely do. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Go English channel if you want more tips like this.
And share this with a friend. Let's build a community here.
Leave us a comment below. Tell us, what is one simple phrase you are going to practice saying out loud this week? We want to hear from you.
We read all the comments. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you next time on the Go English channel. Bye-bye.
See you, everyone. Keep talking.